and we're live doing a test transmission live from Caravan Island in an undisclosed location somewhere. I couldn't even tell you where I am if I tried. It's remote. I'm in a remote place, and we just thought we'd try it out by getting a friend of the show, Big Al, on, aka Just Frank. Al's a comedian, and also celebrating. I think you can celebrate officially a year of sobriety now.
Yeah, officially a year and day of full sobriety. No alcohol, not one drop. For it seemed impossible, and that is a problem. That's why we need to take it a day at a time. We've got this problem. People who are unfortunate enough to be alcoholics, once you are one, you can never go back, and you need to drill that in your head and make it stick, because we forget very easily. It only takes one sunny day for you to forget, and you're only an arm's length away from relapsing. And then you need to go through it all again. It's a very easy, simple program for a very complicated disease.
So that's why when I was saying, "Oh, congratulations on a year," and you're like, "It's actually 11 months and 20 days."
Yeah,
Because the days are important.
days are important. I mean, some people look at it and say, "Why are you counting your days so you know how many days you've had when you relapse, how long you've got?" Like, some people take the attitude not to count the days because they have made a concrete decision that alcohol is no longer in their life. And I think that comes with time. That look, in hindsight, when you get a bit of sobriety, you don't, at the beginning you're counting the minutes, the hours, the days, and but when weeks turn into months and stuff, you're not concentrating as much as how many days you got. You need to concentrate on the 24 hours ahead of you. And I can stay away from anything for 24 hours if I put my mind to it. It's an easy thing to do. But if I look at it like, so that guy's got 11 years, 11 years I need to go without drinking? It seems impossible. And you know what I mean? It just, you turn a molehill into a mountain.
Yeah, so it works for different things, works for different people. The days is working for you, so whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because that's incredible. Because you were a sesh person.
I was a wreckhead.
What?
Complete wreckhead.
Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's impressive, really impressive. So that's a year, and you're just doing great things with sobriety's came your comedy career.
Yeah.
So you're semi-professional now.
Yeah, people say you're semi-professional because as soon as a coin exchanges hands, that technically makes you in the business. But but the money's it's pennies once we split it up between us, and it all goes towards booking out studios for practice and stuff. You know what I mean? It's nothing to do with money. It's just for the love of improv, and I feel there's healing and laughter, and it keeps me right, and it keeps me well, and so it's kind of comedy along with a dedication to AA, and if I look after sobriety first, and my comedy will fall into place. I was doing it drunk when I started, and when I can look back now and see that compared to when I've done it sober, it's night and day. I was just doing it for free beer at the beginning, but
It's,
I mean,
it's the same in the music world.
Yeah.
It's where you get paid in beer, and then people are surprised when you do it drunk. And it's very true that doing a performance drunk is never going to help. I mean, what it might do is it might give you a false sense of security, a bravery to go and do the thing in the first place. But I used to get wasted before I went on stage. And then the camera phone started getting too good, and you could
My God.
people were sharing clips of me being wasted on stage. And also, I suppose there was a lot of things going on. What one immaturity to being in hindsight being insecure. Although I wasn't aware of that at the time. I thought I was fine. And then I suppose the third thing is that when you're starting out, there's absolutely zero pressure to be good. But when we started, getting paid to perform, it's like it's totally disrespectful to anybody's booked you if you're just going to turn up wasted. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just you want, and also the thing that I did notice when I started doing gigs sober was that the actual rush you get for it is mental. Like you get a pure adrenaline rush
Well,
when it goes.
that's where I get my hit now. You know what I mean? I need to
Yeah,
replace it with something, and that is what I personally for me is that crowd and that buzz you get on that stage. It's there's nothing else like it, is there?
and do you get the how do you feel after it? So for one of the issues that I've had, because obviously I still drink after a gig, and I think I'm trying to, I'm sober curious is a phrase I heard someone saying.
Yeah, heard that. Yeah,
Bit of a wanky phrase, but
yeah,
it's just the hangovers, man. It's the hangovers. I'm just kind of like, and also coming up, we've got an Irish tour. So my usual go to is, do the gig sober, then have a few drinks after it. But that's not going to work because when you mix adrenaline with alcohol, I end up smoking cigarettes as well, which I've pretty much got rid of. But the adrenaline and the alcohol combined makes me smoke, and I can't be doing that. Then be doing 2 hours in Ireland or 4 hours. I think one of the journeys is 4 hours. The idea of doing that with a hangover and I've been smoking the night before, my throat's
yeah,
sore. So I think I'm really going to make a concerted effort to just no do the Friday in Dublin, no drinking the Friday Dublin, no drink the Saturday in Dundalk. And then if I want, I can do it in Derry. And that's the same way that you're talking about how 11 years is too much to.
yeah. Well, yeah, it is.
So I can't say to myself yet that I'm
Yeah,
not going to do the full weekend
uh,
because I feel like. But then if I've done the first 2 days, then why not do the third one? Is my plan.
it is. I mean, yeah, the Irish are like us. It's a drinking culture over there too, and whenever
And
you
also,
go
it feels like
away,
you're representing Scotland when you go there.
yeah,
It's because
definitely.
obviously I've been everywhere I've went in the world. Like when I went to Mexico, everyone all the stereotypes are Mexico can drink, and I'm sorry, but they've got nowhere near the issues that Scotland. They've got we're a sick nation.
we
We are sick
we're
in
no
all
well.
respects. But aye, with Mexico, they're having a bit of mezcal, a bit of tequila. Don't get wrong, they can have a drink, but they want to call it a night. Everyone I met anyway, they call it a night. Scotland's
You're just
just
getting started.
aye, we're
Like,
next, I think. So,
uh,
well, getting back to just for people that don't really know,
yeah.
what is improv? And you've got a show tonight, you've got a show next week. But first of all, before we go into that, what is improv comedy?
Well, what I do is long form improv. So short form is like what most people would have seen on Whose Line Is It Anyway. Improv is you know the game before you start performing. You know what the funny thing is, the absurd thing, or like, so for an example, a short form improv, you've got two people in a scene and they get given a word like lampshade. So the first guy would say, "Oh, you changed my lampshade, and I never gave you permission." And their partner might respond, "What do you mean? I'm in charge of the colour coding of the house." And then somebody outside says the word change, and the guy in response says, no, this is my house, and somebody says, change. You say, no, this is your house, and somebody says, change. No, my mum left me this house in their will. So you need to keep changing as the person outside and keep continuing the scene. It's really good fun to play as a game for a warm-up, but long form, as you don't know the game, because the game in that would be the change. You need to change as soon as the words, but in long form, we get a word from the audience and then we get a choice, which is we've decided beforehand how to explore that word. And there's, for example, there's a pattern game. There's one called the living room, the kitchen. It's basically a setup to where we can get a word, and if we're not using a monologue or an opening like the pattern game, then nobody would have any ideas on how to go about a scene. So a monologue, the keys in the word. You got up and tell a story about maybe something that happened in your life that's associated to the word that's been given to the audience. So if you give me a word, Mark, I'll give you an example of a monologue.
Right, okay. Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. So we get that word and they'll say scarecrow, so we all know what the word is. And then it's up to for three people to step out and say, scarecrow reminds me of Wurzel Gummidge. I used to watch Wurzel Gummidge when I was younger. It was my favourite programme. My favourite character was Aunt Sally. She never took any nonsense off that Wurzel. And Wurzel Gummidge changes his head, different tasks and feelings. So, when I was watching that when I was younger, it was teaching me. We used different faces for different people. Like I would use a different face in work and speak differently, maybe more clearer in an office than I would if I was working in a construction site, or and then I can go on. So now I've said construction site, and maybe something pops in my head and say, well, I used to work as a landscape gardener in Falkirk football stadium, planted all the trees there, and the aim is to get 6 or more ideas. So I would then step back, and then somebody else would do a monologue until 3 of us had done it. And the full back line, which is like in a team, there's usually 8 people, need to, for each monologue, have an idea of a scene, but you can't make a scene on your own monologue. So I would have had to be listening to somebody else's. But say I was one of them, they could step out and start doing a scene. And on the first line, what you want to do is give the where, the what, and the when. So I'd step out and say, when I step out, somebody else steps out. I'd say, oh, thanks for coming to the farm. We're having a problem with these crows. They keep coming down and stealing my scarecrow's head. I've been through about 12 heads. So that's me stated where I am. An unusual thing, which is scarecrows coming in and taking a scarecrow's head. And then the two of you explore that a bit more, and you're trying to find the game. And the game is usually the absurd thing. And in most scenes, there's a straight person, so you'd act like you would act in a real world situation. You say, what do you mean the crows are taking scarecrows' heads? I mean, how does that even happen if the head's bigger than the crow? And then what I'm looking to do is justify what absurd thing I've just made up. Because once we know we've found the game, we then justify it, which means
So how
the crowd can get on board with that.
Justify the scarecrow? How do you justify a scarecrow?
So
How do you justify a crow stealing?
So I would say, well, I'd say, well, my scarecrows, I've got tiny scarecrows, but I've got 100 of them. I don't have big scarecrows. I use 100 scarecrows because it's 100 times better. So I've then just, it doesn't matter how absurd the justification is, as long as you've got one, right? And then, so, and then take it from there, and then we do like 3 beats or 3 scenes, and then 2 other couples will perform and do 3 scenes, and there's different formats. Like one's a Harold. There's different openings to find those scenes. So that was a monologue example.
I like improv as well, because you can do callbacks.
Yeah, so callbacks are great.
On the thing. So somebody's got a good idea, the other comedians can run with it, even in a different game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I seen your improv at the old hairdressers, and that was great fun. And I was doing Dry January as well, and it was a good night out. And
that's right. You were on the 0%.
I was on zeros. I was on the zeros for about two. I was saying 3 months, right? Because it was like I was on a health kick January, February, March, but I wasn't. I did have a drink a couple of occasions on that time, but I did the full Dry January, a bit of February, but I was going to the gym every day. But now under doctor's orders, man, under doctor's orders, I can't. Another week. Oh. Well, actually, it depends on how long I'm here for, because I've not got a shoe with me, so it's not like I can just start walking in shoes. And I think this is maybe for people that are just joining us, let us know how the reception is. Ali Grant's in the house. Good morning. Not so big Al is looking great. Love a wee caravan as well. It's a beautiful caravan. I'm in the edge of the universe, an undisclosed location, because I don't even know this location. It's Bonnie. It's Bonnie, and it's been pretty dry. I think there's a storm coming, so I'll be here for the storm. So I was just wanting to see if it's possible to do a live stream from a caravan using my phone as a hotspot. And it seems to be working. Let us know in the comments if it's working all right. Well, if you can hear me, then that's always a good sign. So hopefully it's streaming out there as well. So the gig, you've got a gig tonight.
A gig tonight at 8:30, and we're defending a trophy that is up for grabs every month on a show. The Git, that's the Glasgow Improv Theatre in the old hairdressers upstairs, 2 or 3 flights. They have a show called the Cage Match, and we were the first person to win the trophy, because before it was just bragging rights that you won, and if you win, you stay on for the next month. So we're defending it. Unfortunately, last month I was in St Andrews, so I didn't take part in the show that won the trophy. So I'm keen to go and support my team as well as I can, and get some sharp, quick-witted comedy made tonight. I'm looking forward to that. And next Tuesday is our second show, second month of my new Harold team. Harold is a form of improv where you pick an opening, so it could be like the monologues. You get 3 scenes in a group game, then you get 3 scenes, another group game, and then you get 1 or 2 more scenes, which you need to use a callback and tie other people's scenes together. And once, so other people, 2 performers were talking about beans, and other 2 performers were talking about a dog. So the last one needs to tie 2 together and start talking about a dog farting because he ate your beans or whatever. But it's a very technical, and there's so many rules to this improv for making make believe on stage and having a laugh. But you need to take it seriously, and when you do, you don't need to try and be funny. The laughs come because there's techniques and there's rules which are breakable, but when you've got a bit more experience, you can start breaking the rules. And
that's the old famous the old famous saying.
Yeah,
you need to know the rules to break the rules.
Yeah, but I'd advise it to anybody, because Mark, what it does is it boosts your confidence. It kills my anxieties. There's healing and laughter, okay? And at Govan, acting coach, the Git run courses, free drop-ins in the old hairdressers. You can go and see what improv's all about, or come and see a show. It's on every Tuesday. There's a show, and you can sign up to do a 101, which is 6 to 8 weeks of learning the basics, and it goes 201, 301, which is what I'm up to, and the final 401. I've still to take part, but once you reach a 201 status, you can then go ahead and make your own teams. If you want to make an indie team like we did, a horse with no name, that's who was performing tonight. And when you get to 301, you have the choice to audition for the house team, which I achieved, and it's only our second show because you're then signed up for a year and you get responsibilities. A content maker, a treasurer, a point of contact, blah blah blah, and we've just finished our 4 weeks free training, so we now need to pay for the studio space, and if we want a tutor practice, we need to pay ahead for that, or we can have our own practices, or what we've just arranged is a watch. I sit back and rewatch one of our gigs and say, oh, what could we have done there, or how could we expanded on that, or how could we have justified that, or if we what to do.
So you watch your own stuff back like a football manager would watch his team.
Yeah, just like that, exactly like that. To just try.
I don't know if I'd like that. I usually need to wait about 6 months is the sweet point for me to start watching myself back.
Yeah,
and I've never watched any of these podcasts back. Never watched any of them or listened to any of them back. Apart from a couple of times I've had to.
They're all very good, Mark.
No, thank you. I don't know. I've never watched it.
Good.
Stephen Harlan says, I know I've seen those curtains somewhere this year. That's interesting. There's a sleuth, an internet sleuth. You can't get away with anything. So based on the curtains, Stephen thinks he knows where I am. Or I don't know if he knows where I am, but
this is my backdrop. This is supposed to be my backdrop.
Yeah, shows your backdrop.
If I can get something to stand, it's supposed to light up in the dark, but obviously not dark. But I'm getting things together. I've got a nice camera, a nice Canon camera, a couple of gimbals, a good tripod, a shite tripod, some lighting and stuff in it. You know, I booked a course you went and learned how to create characters and skits and stuff like that, but I actually missed the course. It's something I couldn't get out of, and it wasn't cheap. So I've emailed them because
well, you were saying you wanted to do a skit with Frank Foodie.
Frank Foodie is a brilliant character. I love him.
Well, he went off the grid during lockdown. He got caught up in some theories, and he's been off the grid ever since. But I've heard that he was seen next to that scarecrow fairly recently. So
which one? Yeah. The 100.
Frank Foodie. Let's see if I can show you the scarecrow. Hold on. No, is it too bright? I think it's too bright. But there's a wee scarecrow there. And apparently
how many wee scarecrows?
100 tiny ones.
100 wee ones. See, I told you.
It's a thing. It's something to do with sheep and psilocybin.
Sheep.
Well, I was wishing that I mean, it's mushroom season, so I was hoping that I should have brought some, because yesterday would have been perfect. I was on the farm myself. It'd been perfect for a mystical experience, because I feel like I'm at a transitional phase just now. So
right. Well, you're in the right place to do that sort of thing.
I'm medicinal here. I'm medicinal, mystical experience.
Yeah,
just to figure out what I'm going to do.
I would do in a tent, maybe. It comes from the ground. It's like weed. If you use it properly, it can be used medically. And if you overdo it, like anything, it can be bad for you. And some people are just allergic to it. And that's the only yourself.
It can be I would never say that weed's addictive, but it can be a bit moreish. Can be
Yeah.
a bit moreish if you do it wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's the right time to have some. Apparently, I can maybe find some, but they're it means walking. It's just I've not got a shoe. I've just got this in, and I've got a week to go. I just feel like walking down a bumpy road,
Yeah.
climbing hills is just the most stupid idea.
It's actually conquer season as well, Mark. So,
Right, well maybe that would do me. Just play some conkers.
aye, you can
Uh,
like tie one at a branch and sort of
just yeah,
solo
like
go to
a
our
little
conkers.
gym, a
Aye.
countryside gym, and give it a go. Aye, a game of conkers would be good. But yeah, it's good. It's good that we know that we can. I can live stream, so it's Caravan Radio. I don't know how long I'm here for. I'm here till I'm here. I'm just I'm a guest of some friends. So
Good
I'm here
people,
till.
obviously.
Oh, there's a storm coming, so I think it'd be quite good to do a live stream
Yeah.
from the storm.
That pitter
So,
patter in the caravan, you can't beat that
aye,
sound, and you know it sounds like serenity. You've no cars going by. You know what I mean? You're going to have a wee storm soon. Just get
yeah,
a hot water
I'm
bottle,
sure
man,
you.
and get that kettle boiled and get it on and get.
I'm on the herbal
If
teas.
it
I even
was me,
had a coffee
I'd do a session of Lord of the Rings, 1, 2, and 3. I can watch that film anytime. I love it.
I've only ever watched Lord of the Rings 2, the second one. I was stoned and I hadn't read the book or watched the first one. And I was
Right,
with my XXX at the time.
yeah, right.
And I had no idea what was going on, man. And every time I would feel like I was caught up, then all of a sudden the tree people would appear. And I'm like, how's the fucking.
The Ents,
Who's
the
the
Ents.
tree people? What they got to do? And but yeah, obviously,
Oh,
I should give it another go and start from the beginning. But I feel like I've missed the point. In fact, what's interesting is I didn't bring a. I kept on meaning to bring a book because I was like, I've never got an excuse to bring a book, but it looks like I'm going to have. There's nothing to do. There's no shops.
I'll
I've
show
got
you
nothing.
my book collection at the moment. I got this from my niece, and I kept it because it's so interesting. It's, believe it or not, encyclopedia, and it's just full of fun facts.
Well, give us
So
a fun fact.
I'll give you a fun fact.
It better be fun. Not too
Living dead.
fun though. I'm enjoying a period of relaxation, so I don't want it to be too fun.
I don't want it to be too fun and steal your thunder, but a fun fact is well, there's a massive maraca. Fuck, it's actually the maracas. There's a musical. It ties in with the music theme. Can you see that?
Yeah.
No Gallagher would destroy that. Or Liam Gallagher, should I say?
Bez.
Or Bez.
Aye, Bez.
Bez has got a good podcast. I've seen a few good clips from him and his big pal. There's so many podcasts out there now,
Not actually seen that. I've not actually seen that. Yeah.
They just shoot the shit and talk about the old days, drugging and pubbing and name dropping. Boom.
The name drop.
The
But yeah,
name drop.
I just kind of slept for the first day because I'm used to noise like traffic going by
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I just slept for about a day and a half there. But I'll tell you what's interesting.
What?
At one point, I thought I heard the M8 or like a motorway, and I'm like, that's not possible. There is nothing here. But as my friend pointed out, it's the burn, which sounds very similar to the
The
motorway in
bum.
a weird way. But once I knew it
That's
was the
weird.
burn,
It's
what?
more of a like a meditational background.
It
The
doesn't
birds
sound like
and
that. No,
dream.
for the distance that I'm at, it doesn't sound like
See,
that. It
if I was there,
sounds like traffic.
and,
But it's actually a good thing that I've learned because the next time I'm near, which I'm sure will be fairly soon, next to a motorway, as it seems like wherever I go is motorways. There, I was just going to say it's a burn because see, once I knew it was the burn, I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, that's
aye,
relaxing."
it's like, see, you're mentally allowed that to be a good sound
Yeah,
now.
aye, we'll allow the traffic.
Well,
Traffic
this
is
is
just
it.
water,
This
and
is it.
in
All these
a funny way, maybe it is.
mm,
So tickets for next Tuesday.
tickets for tonight are free. Pay what you want. Get it on Eventbrite. Just
Old
type in
hairdressers.
Cage Match.
Old hairdressers
Old,
tonight.
old hairdressers tonight. And next Tuesday, same place, same deal. Um, pay what you want. There's a bar down the stairs. The bar up the stairs isn't on because it's for seating for the theatre up there.
I like the fact that you're a year sober and you're still aware of where the bar is.
Yeah, well, you can't get away from it, Mark. You can take the guy out of AA. You can't take AA out of the guy. They've got a
You can
good
take the
range
man at
at
the
zero
van, and you
percent,
can't
as you
take the
know.
van. Well, that's what I'm going to take my caravan brain into the new world. So it's going to be you can take the man at the van, but you can't take the van at the man.
That's it. In my caravan.
Well, that's been going through my head because one of my mates kept singing that to me.
Yeah, I heard that recently.
After the Beta Band, if you saw my caravan,
It's
which
brilliant.
is
Oh,
actually do do
can't
do
give you
do
number.
do 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 do, and I'd never noticed
In
that
my
before.
caravan.
But I have got a knack of hearing a song and figuring out who they ripped off, whether deliberately or no. But every song's been done before. In
Ed
fact,
Sheeran proved that in court, didn't he?
I would do that. I would do that as a pub quiz type thing, where I would go against. I reckon I could go against anyone, and they'd play me a song and go, "What's that riff?" For?" And I just need a few seconds, and then I would figure it out.
Well, Mark, there's a radio show that does that, and I think it's Clyde One. I'm not sure which one, but and there's an app that does it, and they try and beat the app. So you could do that up there on your solo. See if the app beats you.
Nah, well, maybe I probably would actually Shazam.
Ah,
Which
man.
I only got into Shazam or the Google version when I was in Mexico because I just kept hearing loads of great music that I obviously had no chance of knowing it. I didn't recognise any of the voices. It was a different language. So
Mhm.
I've got a wee playlist of some of the best tunes I found that I'm gonna share soon. But yeah, and also I think I would just take a couple of paracetamol to get the edge over the AI since.
The AI world
Well,
taking,
apparently,
taking
Donald
over.
Trump says apparently that paracetamol makes you more focused in its special subjects.
I think he's mixing it up with another drug.
I think he's mixing up a lot of things, to be honest.
Well, there's a pattern emerging there.
I mean,
Find the game,
it's
find the game.
Biden. It's Biden. It's the Biden thing again, all over again. But yeah, no politics. We agreed no politics before we started because we're trying to keep it. We're just doing.
I'm in a good mood.
Shouts to paracetamol, says Jasmine. Shouts to Jasmine. But yeah, we're going to wrap this up because A, you've got things to do, and B, I'm so glad you joined me. Just so I could check out if it's working. People are commenting, so apparently it is working. The next question is how much my phone data is this using up. But if it's not too bad, then I'll just do a caravan radio every day that I'm here. For how long that is, I don't know yet. But it's thanks for being the first guest in Caravan Radio.
Anytime, Matt. I'm always glad to be a part of anything you're doing. You do an amazing job out there and everything you do. When are you going to meet Obi Trice?
Obi Trice, real name, no gimmicks. 11th October.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's the first thing since we played King Tut's with Bomb Scare about 10 years ago that actually has people for Ayrshire thinking about coming up for it. Just to see if it's real. Nothing I've ever done matters to any of them. But Obi Trice, we were that's that music you listen to, because Eminem came out and then it was 50 Cent and then Obi Trice was just after that. So that's kind of what a lot we were listening to back then.
That was the
So it's quite
CDs
wild.
I had the Eminem, Dr. Dre 2001, the
2001,
D12
absolutely.
and the Obi Trice, and it was over and
D12,
over and over.
absolutely.
Aye.
And D12 do tour these days, but it's not the same. I mean, you've got no Eminem, you've got no Proof, and I think another two have pulled out because they realise it's a bit of shit now. So I don't think D12's a thing. So Obi Trice, we'll see what he's all about. I mean, that first album is a classic, no skippable tracks, and then the second album, it wasn't bad, but what he was doing was he was trying to make hits in the way that Eminem makes hits or Jay-Z makes hits. So it wasn't but it's not as bad as I remember it. I remember being disappointed by it, but I was actually looking at it just now. It's got songs like Cry Now, Lady, I think. No, Lady's in the first one. It's no bad. Then it starts tailing off after that. It does start tailing off. And he's one of the only hip-hop guys that take us full circle, because we're talking about you celebrating a year sobriety. Apparently it was the drink that caused Obi. And it's quite unusual in hip-hop. Hip-hop's the majority of artists in hip-hop, it's either coke, money, or a shooting or something like that that curtails the career. But yeah, just good old-fashioned booze, just no frills, real name, no gimmicks, just
real name, no
gimmicks. Too much.
I love how he samples that in every tune.
Well, I don't think he does it in every tune, but for anyone that doesn't know who Obi Trice is, you all know the Eminem song, Two Trailer Park Girls Go Round the Outside. So that was a massive hit. Was it do Guess Who's Back Again, Shady's Back, Telephone. Without Me? I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's one of Eminem's biggest songs. And then it starts with all
one I heard on the radio,
no gimmicks. So a lot of people just know him from that, but he made one exceptional album, 10, and then one alright album. And Jackal Trades will be supporting on 11th October, but I've not done a Jackal Trades gig in ages, so I've no idea what I'm doing. I started writing. I was trying to maybe write new tunes for it in the Caravan, but it's not really the place for hip hop. I was trying to write lyrics, but it's too nice. You can't, you can maybe write a nice poem.
Nice.
You're not going to write a good maybe write a nice song. You're not going to write a gyro song or a Jackal Trade song here.
I always look forward to your poem competition, Mark. I love that. Whether I'm watching it or taking part, it's always a good show.
The Poetry Slam will return. It will be back. In fact, we're now at that time of year again. Last year it was really late. It was December. So basically the Scottish Championships are in January. So we'll probably do it in October or November. And then that means they've got a bit more time to prepare for the finals at the Panopticon, I think they hold it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Also, I've got Andy Martin's my DJ. So that's good. Andy's a legend. And what I'll probably do is go into Carlton Studios with him and just get a practice on the go. And just somebody will bounce off it, because I can't really practice hip hop on my own in a Caravan. It doesn't. I don't know. Doesn't feel right. I should be writing. I'm going to start writing a book. That's what I've decided. This is perfect for writing a book. I've got space for my thoughts.
Yeah. I was going to go to a night on Sunday night across from the old hairdressers in Stereo, and it's run by Freed Up. We're just a company that concentrate.
I know them well. I know Donna well.
And so Donna's working with my younger brother and teaching him the decks and stuff. And he's a rapper and he's doing a lot of stuff inside, and he lets me hear it and stuff.
What rapper? Sorry, what rapper?
My younger brother. No, my younger brother. He's working with Donna.
I don't know if I know that person.
Who?
But I know Donna well, and I know the Freed Up gigs are always good. So is that this? Did you just miss it, or is it this Sunday?
No, it's a thing they do on a Sunday for people. Obviously, there's drinking and stereo, but it's for people who are freed up from alcohol and drugs. And it's just a night I seen it advertised. And I think they do raves and festivals and stuff. They do a lot of community work in the prisons and just trying to help people escape insanity and who are caught up in the alcohol and drug life. It's check them out on Facebook. They put on a lot of nights, and I can see this.
They do
People,
loads of great work, and it's good. It's good. I like phrases like "freed up" and
yeah,
even recovery. Because what was it
freedom.
before that? Well, just trying to avoid the word. Like, I think if you're trying to encourage people to go to, you're trying to get alcoholics to go to a gig. Don't put the word alcohol in the name. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh,
Or even the word alcoholic. What do you make of that? Is there not like a better word for that?
a better word than alcoholic is tornado. Because you just
A
cause
form of
havoc
tornado.
everywhere you go. Doesn't matter how many geographicals you do or company you change. It's the problem lies in here and in here, and that's where you need to start the healing. But
Would
I've
that be
got
right? Would that be
I've got
right in assuming that it was just after Lindisfarne you started your journey? Oh well,
yeah,
I know
well,
you tried a few times before that, but
yeah, I had 4 months
you
before that, and then the summer and the wee solar fest. Went to
I
Lindisfarne.
see, I seen you at the night before, but basically what all I remember seeing is a message on the Facebook group chat saying there's this really big Scottish guy. He's lost his phone and he's freaking out, and I'm like,
Yeah, I stayed to the last person going, waiting for this porta cabin to go open, and nobody knew anything about it. That's where all the lost property get kept. And oh, what a graft that was! Taking all my camp stuff on a hangover, come down. Had to walk to the road and wait for a taxi, which I never knew if it was going to come or not. So there was anxiety with that, and then the train, the bus, and then I got to Croy, and then I had no taxi money, or I had no cash, and it was cash only, or something like that. Oh, it was a brilliant festival, but that was a big hangover. That took a long time to come to terms with, and
is
a
that a
few.
wake up call? Is that
I
where
had a
you
wake up
thought
call, and then a couple more.
there's maybe a different way of doing this?
Yeah, a couple more incidents, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and that's that's all history. But on a
Aye,
lighter
so it's
note,
a year on that, and also you've lost loads of weight as well. So congratulations on that. So
thanks, I appreciate
how
that.
did you do? Is a lot of that down to because obviously, like for anyone that doesn't know, I've known Al for forever, for years and years and years. So you drank a lot. So
Yeah,
did that
that
save you a few calories for
yeah.
maybe the off?
I stopped drinking and just noticed the slimming beginning, and I was like, well, that's a lot, and I've not really done anything because I was just sitting around and keeping myself inside and keeping myself away from any triggers or and I was playing around with Spotify, no, Shopify, and setting up an online business, and that never worked out. But it was good learning how to do it, and so I've got those skills. And um, when I seen the weight falling off, I thought, right, well, I'm going to start dieting, and I looked into what diets, and I always knew Slim World worked well for a friend of mine. I joined that. And then that motivated me to start going to the gym, doing steps, but even just walking, staying busy, Mark, being busy. I mean, for example, for this week, every day, apart from this morning, but I'm going out this afternoon, and then later on, I've got this gig. I've got every day packed. I keep the weekends free, but because your week's packed, anything else you need to do, your weekends soon fill up as well. And then sometimes I overdo it, but I'm conscious of that. And I've just started up a new AA meeting in Lennoxtown with me and my sponsor. So that's every Thursday. That comes before anything. And then Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be writing with Viv G for 6 weeks in October. So there'll be a stand-up show coming after that in the middle of November. Some new material, and improv obviously coming first because that's what I enjoy most. And it's like a group sport rather than you know going up there yourself and everybody bombs. But it's a bit more. You can spread the pain if you're in a team. Spread the pain.
Well, I mean, I've bombed many a gig recently. I had a bombed gig as well, just
Yeah,
didn't work it.
every
But yeah,
bomb.
it's if you've got a like if it's there's a difference between bombing when you've got a band with you,
Yeah,
and you can just blame it on the drummer. I can't say that
exactly.
anymore. That used to be my go-to joke because I'd blame everything on Gordy, but I'm only joking. But now I don't want to even joke about that because Jenny's a drummer, and I don't. Jenny, I'm not blaming you at all. You were brilliant.
I know,
Um,
but I actually set myself up to bomb. I was supposed to do a gig last Thursday. It's in a church, and it's for a recovery cafe. People coming to get well, and you know yourself, if you're going to watch a musical gig, it's people coming to hear music. If you're going to watch a comedy show, it's people coming to hear comedy. If you're going to get recovery, and then you're listening to a guy doing stand up in a church on a stage, fucking and cunting for a start in a church, and then they're not there to see comedy. Do you know what I mean? So the guy was trying to get me to do it. I let him know a few days before. I said, mate, I'm not going to do that. It's no set up right. I'm set up to fail, and plus I need to go and see all these guys again because I'm in recovery too. Do you know what I mean? And it's not as if I can walk away. I'm never going to see them again. So I used my smarts in that one. I was like, it's not happening. You want to see my stand up? You can come see it in November at Black Flat Friars. Uh, Run by Viv G, and all the ticket money is going to a charity called the Addiction Recovery Centre in Kirkintilloch, who saved countless lives, including mine. And I'm really glad that Viv agreed to, help raise funds for that place because it's not strictly AA. AA don't accept outside funds, but the Addiction Recovery Centre can host an AA meeting, but also it's a not for profit, but they're not bound by the rules and traditions of AA
yeah,
because
because AA has got a bit of controversy, like because
yeah,
obviously, a lot of my best friends that have recovered have used AA, so it works. It
yeah,
works for some people, and
works
then
if you work it, Mark. It
I
works if
remember
you work it.
my dad tried it. It didn't work for my dad.
Mm.
He didn't like it, but it's like
The,
so. The recovery and addiction centre. So what's the difference? How do they
the art,
differentiate?
the Addiction Recovery Centre, they take a different approach, but it's a daily Monday, Wednesday, Friday meeting. It's called a feelings meeting, and it's just people in a group. It doesn't matter if you're alcohol, if you're cocaine, if any drugs, any gambling, overeating, sexual addiction, whatever. You're just coming to a safe space with anonymity. If I said that correct, anonymity. And
Anonymity.
yeah, and you get to know the people, and it's great sport. Everybody there is there for the same reason to get well and stay well, and it's built around the basis of an AA meeting because it works. But as I said, not bound by the rules and traditions of that. And everybody's welcome, everybody's welcome, dogs are welcome, and a lot of people's children, addiction recovery children, so they've had a child whilst being in recovery here. They all attend the meetings, and they've all came on to do brilliant things because and they might not be paying attention or they're running around with toddlers but you know what we're talking about and the tools we use to get well, because the problem is, Mark, alcohol is not the problem. It was the solution for us until it wasn't. And then when you take that away, you're left with alcoholism and this crazy head. So although you stop drinking, there's a thing called a dry drunk. People are not working the program, and if you don't get to meetings and do what you're suggested to do, like if a guy jumping out an aeroplane suggests you pull the rope to your parachute, then you might be sober, but you're not well, because it's up here that it all begins. But apart from that,
Yeah, well, it's trauma, a trauma response. Is
yeah,
that right? Is that saying?
yeah. Well, I mean,
So it's like
a lot of
there's
people
usually
need,
something under that's making
yeah.
you make
There's
reckless
usually always
decisions.
an underlying reason, in the people's
And it's
childhood.
interesting that
Or,
it's good that the kids are allowed there as well, because
yeah,
it's a bit of taboo. Because I remember when one a lassie I knew said once, is your dad an alcoholic? And I was like, no.
mm.
I think I was only about
It's a
14 or
stigma,
15.
isn't it?
And I was like, no. Because I thought it was
Yeah,
going to be a bummer. And it was
aye,
like, no, it's all right. It's my mum's an alcoholic. It's all right
no.
to admit it's not your fault. And I was
There's,
like, all
there's
right.
a stigma attached to
Stigma is the word, aye, not
it,
taboo. Stigma.
and I shout it for the rooftops now, because whether people know or don't know, because you don't know what you don't know. Uh, Basically, I'm lucky to have a program to really learn how to live life, because I associate everyone with drinking. Go out, walk for a walk, go on a train, go on a bus. If it's raining, if it's sunny, if I'm going away, if I'm staying in. I had to really learn everything to do it sober, and along the way, whether you like it or not, despite yourself, you will have a psychological change in the, the head, whether it's a tada moment or it's uh, a slow change, which you only see in hindsight and think, well, I'm thinking differently from what I would have definitely not decided to do that, or made that decision instead. But you're
And
always
so, and for
learning, the
some
same
people,
as everything.
it's completely just like no substances, and then you've got
Yeah,
people who are maybe
abstinence.
because of a good example is like getting on a train. If that was,
Mm,
if you were used to doing your hour or 2 hour train journey to
mm,
a thing, say like Edinburgh Fringe or something,
mm,
getting a couple of cans, then suddenly not doing that. So like I know people that have take propanolol to just take the edge off the travel, and other substances, or antidepressants as well. Some people are on
mm.
antidepressants. So obviously there's not a one a
Yeah.
one fits all solution.
No, there's not, and it's unique for everybody, and that's why you need to listen and identify what you identify with, and things you don't identify with, just let it go over your head, because
I
everybody,
was actually going to make my coffee there. Chat GBT is
mm,
apparently the new thing. That's what they were talking about. How it's apparently some people were on arguing that it's helped them from a
yeah,
therapeutic point of view, and then obviously other people were saying no. So apparently the doctor kind of summed it up by saying that it's actually quite helpful in some respects, and that, but it tends to lean toward DBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy for people that don't know.
yeah,
Which we actually had John McMustard talking about it before. It's really interesting. It's a great way of seeing the world. But if somebody's needs actual, immediate attention for a mental health issue, an emergency type thing, then talking to Chat GBT isn't going to be the answer.
no,
And also, the other problem with Chat GBT is it's designed to continue the conversation and agree with you. So
it's,
that isn't always helpful, because, like, if you've got like I don't know if a psychiatrist is the right term these days, but if you've got a professional, so it says it's more like kind of counselling rather than a psychotherapist. That's what it was. So it's somebody agreeing with you, which can be great because
it,
it's someone listening to you,
it
even though it's a
agrees
robot.
with you, it bums you up, but you know what I mean. It's never going to contradict you, or you say you're wrong. Uh,
And
uh,
a good therapist should be saying, no, no.
mhm.
Obviously, there's bad therapists that just want you to keep coming back. So some
Yeah,
of the worst people in the world go to therapy and just use that as an excuse to
mhm.
continue their bad behaviour. Because they're like, oh no, my therapist said it's cool. And that's what people's happening with Chat GBT.
People
Chat
looking for
GBT says I'm in the right. That's terrible, isn't it, ChatGPT? If you phrase a question like that, that's terrible, isn't it, ChatGPT? And it's just a robot with no context.
Yeah,
And
well,
it wants to continue the conversation.
I mean, that's similar, Mark, to, and I'm not saying we don't need the addiction teams, professionals, and like the cat team and stuff, but they, personally for me, they were trying to get me to reduce my drinking and said, so how much do you drink? For example, and if I said, right, well, 24 cans in a day.
And
Like,
wait there.
right.
But you actually say that? Because the word, apparently, this is science. Whatever the doctor asks you, they multiply it by 3 in their head because people are embarrassed. So when I got a checkup at the start of the year, and I don't know, I can't remember what I said, but I erred on the side of lies.
I didn't because I was at a stage where I would drink a 3 litre bottle of cider on a bus at 9 a.m. in the morning, and if people were staring at me, that was their problem. I didn't. That was the stage I was at. Didn't care what other people thought. And
So
if
3
they
litres
had
in the morning on the bus, and then you're having your 24 cans.
that is very possible. That could have happened. But I was moving on to vodka in the end and doing a litre before I got into town, and then probably buying another one. And the last time I was on it, I remember, is sitting on the ground in town in the police trying to move me on, and I couldn't stand up, and I was a bit cheeky. And then I don't remember really what happened, but my bag got robbed of a laptop and a phone, and then because I'd been sitting on the ground, I had people calling me up saying, "Are you homeless and shit, man?" And I was like, "Oh, what is going on here, man? I had enough of that." So I got myself into some sticky situations, and I was very lucky not to be worse than robbed in the town. I mean, I walk through the town quite often just now at night after shows and stuff, and especially the Four Corners, and then you're walking up that street to go towards Turkey Street. That's such a dodgy street, man. Drug dealers you can spot a mile away, and gang different cliques and different people. Just it's really sketchy, man. I don't like it. I don't like it doing anymore at night. But if I've got a gig, it's fine. It's usually if you're not out there looking for trouble, you're fine. But it's it looks so different to me now, the town at night, to what I remember when I was younger.
It does seem worse. I don't know how much of that's down to age or also being, by being sober, you're being aware of your surroundings.
Danger.
Wow, and when you're drunk, you've got like an invisible bulletproof vest on. You
just walk about in a strutter bubble.
And a strutter bubble. For anyone that doesn't know, I can't right now set up the strut. I can't put anything else online, but look up Mike Strutter, the strutter bubble. It's a funny one. Okay, to wrap this up, how can we? Because this is an hour. I don't know how much data I've got. I don't want to have no data at all. But we've done an hour, so thank you. It's a pleasure. But how can we wrap up? Because I'm going to need to call this as an audio podcast. I want to call it 100 mini scarecrows, because that's the only thing. That's the thing that's standing out to me, rather than something boring like recovery and comedy. So can you use your improv skills and let's just explain how the scarecrows and the scarecrows and the crows, how can we make that a metaphor for recovery?
Well, Mark,
or bettering yourself. How can we do that?
We use scarecrows to scare away the crows, but the crows outnumber the scarecrows. So, I mean, if you look at that as an analogy, an alcoholic likes to drink every day, and a sober person doesn't drink any days. So, we need to scare away. We need to scare away the 365 days of drinking. So buy a fucking wig and paint your face to look like a turtle and put on a straw hat and you'll get sober. I mean, you ever see 100 scarecrows, then follow the tracks to the caravan and you'll meet Mark, or you'll find my back garden, because those are not allowed. the crow flies high, and Aunt Sally's in control.
Can't really see it, but that's a scarecrow there. That's the scarecrow I'm talking about.
Aye. Scarecrows are mental.
I'm assuming it's a scarecrow. I haven't even said, "Are you all right, mate?"
What's the difference between
a
scarecrow and a snowman? Like, one melts away.
Stephen Harlan loves the strutter bubble. Strutter bubble. He remembers it. Yeah. Google Mike Strutter bubble on YouTube after this. Jasmine says stand up in church sounds absolutely hilarious, to be fair. And yeah, everyone avoid the 100 mini scarecrows and look after yourself. I think that's the point, isn't it?
That's the point. What else would it be?
One day at a time.
One day at a time.
Go to the old hairdressers tonight. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, the 30th of September, then
strengthen numbers.
Go to the old hairdressers tonight. I went to the Improv in January. It was absolutely brilliant. And then next Tuesday is also the old hairdressers. Is that right?
Next Tuesday also also at 8:30, and I will be doing a stand-up gig in the middle of November at Blackfriars with 9 or 10 other comedians, run by Viv G.
The legendary Viv G. Absolutely.
The legendary Viv G.
So just for anyone who's listening back to this that isn't listening live, the next improv is on the 7th of October. So just in case you're listening, this Tuesday or next Tuesday. So tonight, the 30th, or next Tuesday, the 7th. And I will get you back on before you do your stand-up return. Definitely.
Cool. Sounds great, Mark.
Thanks
for having us on.
No, an absolute pleasure. Thank you. Hopefully, it sounds like it works. So we'll try and do Caravan Radio every day while I'm up here. And shout outs to the patrons who make this show possible. Support the show at patreon.com/you call that radio. And Big Al, is it just Frank? Is your tag? How do people?
Just Frank, as a tag, but I'm going by my own name now. Also known as, if people have seen me there before, but yeah, it's Big Al on stage, doing what he does best, making people laugh and making a cunt of himself. But aye, big shout out to all the Patreons
in the comments so people can add you.
Yeah, I've got a 2-prov show that I just did. So what I just explained about improv with 8 people, me and one other guy did that ourselves for 10 minutes. I'll send that to you, Mark, and you can let the Patreon see that if you want. It's really funny.
Amazing. Cool. We're just going to get your Insta tag. Okay, Big Al 3182. So Instagram, I'm putting the comment, Big Al 3182.
I'll give you my socials. Who's Funny Anyway on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and our improv team's Horse Way Name, and our house team is called With Bits on Instagram. So every Tuesday in the Glasgow Improv Theatre, come and get a good laugh on a weeknight, and you won't regret it, honestly. Nothing better than a belly laugh. Nothing better. Well, maybe a few things.
Big Al 3182 on Insta. Ignore the first one. I typed in wrong. A pleasure. Enjoy your show tonight, mate.
Okay, enjoy your tranquility.
Let us know in the comments if you can hear us and see us okay. And if so, we'll do another Caravan Radio tomorrow. Nice one, Al. Take it easy.
Excellent. I'll be tuning in. Take care. Oh, yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.